And it's a little one. But look, I have a sunflower that sprouted up in the poop house. So, y'all know when birds eat your sunflower seeds, and then they fly, and wherever they poo, you know, you can have trees are made from where birds poo. So obviously a bird had pooed here, and this beautiful little sunflower, which I really need to make a stand for her, has come up out of the middle of nowhere and has been blooming for about a week now. First started off with one, and look how pretty. It's got all these little buds coming, so I'm gonna take a stake and stand it up and let it finish blooming and doing its thing and filling its little heads out. How pretty, right? In the poop house. Just goes to show you that even beauty can come from something else's poo, if that makes any kind of sense. Alright, this morning I want to take y'all on a herb walk. I just posted a video on the prayer shawls I've made. Here's a bag, feed bag, and there's another feed bag I got to grab. That actually, we had a storm that came up in the middle of nowhere yesterday afternoon, and I loved it. Brought a little bit of rain, and I love it. So right now, my cow. I need to go hook the, I need to go ahead and hook the hose back up to the garden because I need to water it this morning. And then we'll go on our walk. Okay. Okay, we're out here in the back, next to the barn, and this is goldenrod. That is, I mean, most of the herbs here on the farm, they grow wild, period. So this is goldenrod right here amongst all this pipe and stuff that grows, which I will leave, and I will actually leave it wherever it is because I'll harvest that I think a little later on in the summer. It is fixing to start blooming soon enough, but yeah, that's goldenrod. I've got patches of it everywhere. This right here, y'all can see this pretty good. This is chicory. It ain't bloomed yet. It kind of looks like yellow dock or curly dock, the leaves, when it first starts blooming from the ground. But then it gets tall and they'll have tiny little purple flowers on it. And this will be chicory. Chicory, you can use the root to make coffee out of. So that's one of the uses of chicory. And then there's, that's burdock growing all over the place. We got burdock everywhere, and curly dock, or yellow dock rather, all over the farm. So there's some burdock and there's some goldenrod. But what I'm after here today is some, oh, they're over here. I'll take you over here. This is, like I said, this is kind of the backyard of the old farmhouse and the side of the barn. I have to be really careful because I've already seen 8 snakes this year. And yeah, we'll talk more about them in just a minute. Right now, I'm kind of looking at the ground to make sure I don't come across one. This is bull thistle. Okay, this is a thistle. A lot of people eat the leaves. I am not eating leaves. I'm after the flower heads because of the seeds. And here's another one, and they've got all kinds of heads on them. So my darling, he does not like these because, I mean, a lot of people, you know, they call weeds, but there is medicinal value. Yes, they are invasive, so I told him, well, let me get the heads off of them and there won't be as many next year. So I've kept a few of these here on the farm going. So anyway, that's how they start off as far as the flowering of the head. And then that's a complete flowered. So, and this one's kind of dying out, and I'm getting eaten up by skeeters. Let's see, this one's kind of dying out, and you got to be careful with them because they're like really thorny. But there's seeds in there. Let me see. Okay, I just pulled the top of it out, and then here's the inside where I pulled it out. And that's where you want to get into. I forgot my glasses this morning. So I'm going to clip the little heads off of these. I could wait until they all turn brown like this. Watch where I step, because goodness knows there's a huge daddy black snake over here somewhere. And I know this for a fact. Let's see. But what I'm thinking is I'm just going to go ahead and harvest. Quit. Go on, Shallow. Go do that somewhere else, you disgusting thing. Get. I'm going to go ahead and grab a few of these while they're like that. And then I'll let these other ones just go right almost out the seed, and I'll gather them up. I just need a few of these for right now for something. All right. I've got enough heads right now that I'm going to actually make a tincture with this. I'm sure y'all have heard of milk thistle. Thistles are pretty much kin to each other. But we, on the farm here, all we have is bull thistle, which is also called musk thistle. And with milk thistle, you use the seeds to make your tincture. And milk thistle is a liver tonic. So I'm going to use this bull thistle and make a tincture with it. And you just have to study up on similar properties and everything. So just do your studying up on the difference of them. I'll also let you know later. But there's some bull thistle heads. I got my garden watering. It's all coming up really good. Yes, there's some grass in there, you see. But it's okay. I'm going to get to the rest of that today, or a lot of that today. So let's go over here in the pasture. I've got Yarrow I've got to get before my darling gets out here and bush hogs. So let's get busy. I wanted to show y'all something too. See my mullein plant? Look how big it's gotten, right? Well, this must be the second year of this, because there is a stalk with flowers. And you see those little yellow flowers? I can't get really too close right now. But those little yellow flowers, and you pick those, and you can make earache oil with those. Here's some yarrow at the corner, or at the, there's spider webs everywhere. I hate it. Here's some yarrow that's on the borderline of the yard going into the pasture. I need to go ahead and gather it. It's full. And there's also just the leaves down yonder, and I love just getting just the leaves also. Uh-oh. My dog's found something. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and gather this yarrow. This is yarrow when it's in bloom. Remember me just showing you the leaves before? This is yarrow in bloom. Now, there are lookalikes to the yarrow blooms. You have to know your herbs. You have to study and learn the differences. But yarrow always has the leaves like little fern-like leaves. He must have found a snake or something. Let me go ahead and gather these. Now, keep in mind when y'all are out urban or wild picking, that there are snakes out this year. I have already seen 8 snakes this year within a month's time, and I have killed 5 of those snakes. So yeah, it's very weedy out here. Not weedy, I don't like that term, I'm sorry. As an herbalist, or studying herbalist, you kind of use that term sparsely. It's very grassy. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's very grassy out here. So you need to be careful. You need to be careful, okay? So always watch in front of you. I should have brought my pellet gun. I mean, I have a shotgun, a 410, but it's a little heavy to carry. Hey, little red. So I could at least bring my pellet rifle, and that would pop one in the head, but I actually forgot to. So anyway, it's time to be careful. But yeah, I'm harvesting yarrow this morning. That's one of the big things I'm gathering up, because there's plenty of it and I need to get it now. All these, I'm not quite sure what they are. I know there's something. These are herbs. I just need to figure out what they are, and I'll let you know in a few minutes. But I'm harvesting yarrow, so this is plantain. This is narrow leaf plantain, and these are the seed heads. Look how tall the seed heads get on narrow leaf plantain. This is what they look like whenever they flower off. They don't really flower. They have these little seed heads that are full of these little white flowers, but now they're seeding off. So that's what that looks like. Okay, it's very, very grassy out here, so I'm gonna just show you some yarrow before I clip it, and then I've got to be careful. So I'll be back. Supposedly all this right here is called Indian blanket. It's actually mixed in with some fleabane. Fleabane gets normally really tall, and these teeny tiny like little baby daisies, and that's as big as they get. That's fleabane. Fleabane is medicinal. I'll be gathering some of that. Probably not today. Probably another different day. But all this is Indian blanket. I don't know much about Indian blanket, so I've got to go back and study it. So that'll be something I'll be looking up today. Didn't even know we had it here in the pasture. Okay, let me show you some more. This is fleabane. See how pretty they are? Okay, this is gonna be blossoming for a while, and the pasture is absolutely full of fleabane. It's everywhere, so I'll be doing that on another day. I've got so much to do today as is, so more yarrow to gather. I've already got that much of just the leaves and this much of the stems, leaves, and flower tops. So let's get at some more gathering, and then I'll share some more herbs with you. I see something now that I can tell you what it is. And watch where I step. This is spiderwort. That's called spiderwort. I'll try to share with you the medicinal values of these herbs when I'm not out here trying to gather as much as I can and get back to working in the garden. But I'll let you know what their names are. So if you see this, you can look it up for yourself. This is spiderwort. And there's a whole lot more yarrow I need to gather. All right, this is my harvest this morning, and this was probably done within 30 minutes. And that's because of just including the walk from the back yard over yonder side of the barn all the way to the pasture. And I wasn't even able to really touch it because of, like I said, so much going on. I've got to get back in the garden. I got my young'un to tend to. But I needed to get some yarrow. There's so much out there. There's so much. I mean, wow. That's all I can tell you. When you're a child of Yahuwah, He baraks you in so many ways. It's just amazing. Yarrow is a blood stopper. It's a fever reducer. Or when I say fever reducer, what it does is when you take the tincture for a fever, it actually increases your body temperature to help you break that fever. Yes, you have to be careful with that according to how high your temperature actually is. You don't want your temperature to soar and you seizure. So you have to be careful when you actually take the yarrow for a fever. You don't want it to be too high, okay? But it will break a fever. So that's another awesome thing about it. And you can use the whole plant. I just cut like a clipping off of it. The stem, the leaves, the flowers are all medicinal. And like last year, I harvested the leaves in the fall because, you know, I hadn't learned about yarrow until last year about that time. And now there's just so many leaves out there. I use the leaves and I dry them, you know, I let them dry on their own. And then I just pull them off the stem, and I use the leaves for a blood stopper. When I get a bad nosebleed, I just take a couple of pinches of the dried leaves and they're off the stems at that time, and I just shove them up in my nose where it's bleeding, and it's always on the left side. And it stops it within like a minute or two of bleeding, and I leave it up there for like 10 minutes just to give it time and pull it out, and you know, I don't have no trouble. So it is a natural blood stopper. It is awesome. You can do the tincture when you have a nosebleed. I just rather go ahead and put the leaves up in it. I'm sorry I'm kind of talking fast this morning. I just kind of in a hurry, and I just wanted to get this recorded. I've actually got to jump in one of the vehicles and go down the road here, and there's some elderflowers blooming, and I need to get them while they're in bloom to make what I want to make with those. If you don't get them in time, you don't get them in time. You leave them alone. I'll explain that to you in a little bit. And I also got some bull thistle heads, and there's seeds within those pretty flowers. So I'm gonna make a tincture with that. I've got a yarrow tincture already made. I'm probably gonna make another yarrow tincture just to have. And I'm also gonna use the dried flowers and stems and leaves for salves and such. And when I get all my herbs gathered and dried and bagged, then I will start hopefully putting them in my little Etsy store and have my little herbal farm, F-A-R-M, in that little section of it. So I've got to jump in one of the vehicles right now and go get some elderflowers. So hopefully that will be on this video too, and I can calm down when I get back. So let's see how that goes, y'all. Beautiful harvest. Beautiful harvest. Thank you. HalleluYAHUWAH. Hallelujah.